Welcome to Learning Algebra with Ms. Rodriguez. By the end of this video, you will understand function notation. So we want to write function rules using function notation. So whenever we have a function, we can write a specific way to represent our input and our output. For example, our input is our variable, our x, where we have some rule, and when we apply that rule to the function, we get an output, usually a number. That output can be something in the range, and we can denote it using the f of x, which is the f parentheses x. So this f tells us the name of the function, so which one we're talking about, and the value that is in the parentheses. Sometimes a number represents the input when x is replaced with that number. So if we want to write the equation y equals 5x plus 1 using function notation, well, my y usually represents my output, so I no longer will use the letter y. I will actually write f of x. However, the function rule and the input have to stay the same, so we still need the 5x plus 1. So in our function notation, we have the name of the function, which is f. X is the variable we are using, which can be replaced with a number, and our function rule is the 5x plus 1. Recall visually, we were able to identify different types of functions as quadratic, linear, or exponential. We can also identify these functions looking at the equations. So in my first equation, I have g of x, and we are talking about the function x squared plus 4. Because I have a variable that is being squared, this is a quadratic function. So now using my function notation, I no longer have my variable x in the parentheses for g of x. Instead, it says g of 3. So this means that my x value, my input, is actually the number 3. So whatever g of 3 equals, that is the output when I apply my function rule, and my function rule is the g function. So this means I can take my x squared plus 4, but instead of using the variable x, I can now replace the variable with the number 3 based on my notation. So this means 3 squared plus 4, and now I can use my order of operations to simplify. So 3 squared is 9. Remember, that is 3 times 3. And 9 plus 4 is equal to 13. So g of 3 is actually equal to 13. We can do the same thing with f of x. Because my function rule is 2x plus 3, where my x is standalone, it is not being squared or anything. This is a linear function. This time I am told f of 3, so this f of 3 means that I should use my function called f, and similar, this means that x is actually the number 3, so I can go ahead and replace my variable x with the number 3. However, the rest of the function rule stays the same. Again, I'm going to simplify using order of operations. So I have 2 times 3, which is 6, and 6 plus 3, which is equal to 9. So f of 3 is equal 9. My last one is h of x. So h of x equals 2 to the exponent of x. So because my variable is in the exponent spot, this is called an exponential function. Again, I have h of 3. So this means my variable x can be replaced with the number 3 so I can find the output. So my 2 stays, however, my variable x is no longer x, but the exponent 3. So I can go ahead and simplify that. H of 3 really means 2 times 2 times 2. So h of 3 is equal to 8. So for each example, I found the output. So the output of g of 3 was 13, the output of f of 3 was 9, and the output of h of 3 was 8. Although you could use order of operations to simplify. TI-84 calculators can do order of operations correctly if typed in correctly. So in my example here, I have my function h of x. Because my variable x is in the exponent, I know that this is an exponential function. So I know this means everywhere I see the variable x, I'm going to replace it with the number 4. Notice how I am putting parentheses around the number I am replacing. I should be able to do that in my calculator in order to ensure that my calculator does order of operations correctly. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with fellow educators or students.